About the BlackBerry out there, Sachin. But of course, like I said, Android has the highest market share with about 75% dominance globally, and Apple with 14.9 and BlackBerry at around 4.3, which are the estimated figures globally. And also, what's good about this new BB10, which is coming out according to BlackBerry, is that it combines all email, social networks, messages, and other communications into a single inbox. The idea is that BlackBerry people are those who want to simply get stuff done. The company says with a system called Peak and Flow, users are always able to see all their messages with a single swipe of the thumb. That's saying that, Sachin, I think we've got a special guest in the studio we need to introduce.
We do have a special guest. Don J is his name, and he is on the program with us. Good morning to you, Don.
Good morning, Don. Good morning. Happy Independence Day to you.
Yeah, feeling the freedom here at the MTV studios.
So, you are now currently here on vacation, Don.
Yeah.
You live in Singapore. How long are you going to stay in the country for?
I've been here for the past 5 months,
Okay.
5 to 6 months actually. Got back here thinking maybe I will settle down, but I'm still, testing the ground and see what's there for the future in music industry as well. So I'm just relaxing these days.
Let me get this straight, Don. To tell our viewers, you are a songwriter?
Yeah, I go as a
and
singer,
a musician.
songwriter. Yeah.
Singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
So what kind of music are you into?
Primarily it's R&B music, but I do a little bit of pop and hip-hop because at the end of the day it's just hip-hop as a culture, but yeah, mainly it's R&B music.
Okay.
We were talking to Don before we started the program, just to catch up on what he's been doing. He writes songs on the theme love, lust, and life. Is there a particular reason as to why you selected this theme to write your music on?
I think those three topics, it kind of covers everyone's life, like the moment that you grow up as an adult, and from there until the end of the life, you go through these different phases, like love, definitely from mother's love to the relationships that you go through, everything. And the last...
Yeah, he was just thinking of the relationship aspect of it, I'm sure. Knowing Sachin.
Of course, it's February already, and yeah, the Valentine's Day is coming.
It's that month where you start thinking about love in, well, let's not go there.
So, Don, coming back to you, I mean, you've studied music in Singapore, if I'm not mistaken.
Not really. In Singapore, I was studying robotics, as in...
Robotics?
Yeah, I was studying electronics engineering.
And where did you really get yourself geared up for music?
Music, like in 2004 when I was in Sri Lanka, like before going to Singapore that is, I did a album with another friend of mine. It was mostly on Sri Lankan R&B stuff, which was,
And in terms of language, is there a mix, or is it purely English? Or
it was mostly Sinhalese,
okay,
like in 2004, but there were a couple of songs in English as well. But then when I went to Singapore, I started, like, the polytechnic that I was studying, they had all these opportunities for you to like learn DJing, production, like everything to do with the art school.
And how did you make use of it there?
I started taking some courses, like workshops and stuff on DJ school, and they have this DJ community where I can go and perform for other clubs and events and stuff. Like they will slot you into these events. So that's where I got all these like contacts from music industry in Singapore. Like I got exposure from them, and then I was like getting this idea, like the idea that I had about R&B music while I was in Sri Lanka. It's very minimal.
Okay.
Like once you start DJing, once you start collecting more music, once you start exposing yourself to more genres, then you realize like the music world, the music industry is much bigger, much more to explore than that.
Don,
so that's where...
When you're talking about music in itself, interesting the fact that you were studying robotics and then went into DJing. Are you still studying robotics? How's that part of your life going?
Okay, basically I'm a Sri Lankan son, so my dad always wanted an engineer. I always wanted to be a musician, so that's where
So have you satisfied the two needs?
Actually, my father is not now, because after finishing my diploma, I totally focused on music.
Right.
So that's how I ended up doing an album and going ahead with the music life.
So your first album, how did it take off?
First album, it was alright. Like, but for me as an artist right now, when I look back at it, I'm not that happy about what I did back then in 2004. But
of course, it comes with experience, and I'm sure it's a learning process in itself.
Yeah, as in like when I was doing my album, I did another solo album while I was in Singapore.
Yeah, which this was in 2011, right?
Yeah, 2011, first 11, like 11, first 11 was the release date. I did it in Singapore. It was titled The Dawning. Like when I was doing that album, I went through a big learning curve, like from production, like getting the packaging done, like how to, contact the packaging people, because the label that I'm signed to is an independent label, and as an independent artist, I went through that whole learning curve of how to get the music into a CD and, get it to your audience.
During The Dawning, this was the album you released in 2011, you said. Was there at any point, I mean, we're talking about the learning curve, the fact that you went through the motions and stood in production, stood in marketing of the album as well. Was there at any point where you can highlight and say, this was the point that taught me the most?
Okay, one example would be like my first video from that album was for one of the tracks called Time.
Right.
I spent about 2 lakhs in Sri Lankan rupees on that video, got it done, and by the time that I finished all the tracks and by the time I was ready to release the album, I had to do another video, like to put it out and so that the people get the hype about it. But I didn't have enough funding to do a proper video. So what I did was I pieced up every penny that I had, like it was around 50,000 rupees. I met a friend of mine from art school in Singapore, from National Technological University. I told him I need to get a video done for this, like this piece, like this track, and that was Liar.
Okay.
It was the most smallest budget video that I did, but that was the most hyped up video that I've ever done. Like,
yeah, we were talking about this, and this video, Liar, was getting major publicity on YouTube. It went viral for the...
Well, as you know, Sachin, nowadays social media is the way to go if you want to promote your music. I mean, look at Gangnam Style and Justin Bieber, Kolaveri.
All of these individuals basically went viral on YouTube, right?
And how is that working out for you, Don?
Are
you using social media as an effective tool?
I'm on all social media platforms. Like I'm very pretty hefty Twitterholic. I'm tweeting all the time as well, and on YouTube and Facebook I'm quite, they're always...
I should go and follow you and I can get out of this show.
For sure.
300,000 views on that video that we were talking about.
Yeah, as in that was video, only on my channel, but there were so many re-uploads. There were cover songs of other people covering that song, so it just went viral, and that was crazy. That was the most happiest moment in that, the whole learning curve of that album.
Right.
Like to do a very low budget video and get it out to people, and people feeling the song much more than the rest of the tracks. It was amazing.
This song was called Liar, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Shall we put you on the spot and ask you to sing the chorus of the song?
Okay. Okay, I'll explain the storyline a bit.
Right.
The storyline is this guy, he's seeing the doctor, like he's having this like brain tumor, cancer kind of thing. He's seeing this doctor like without telling the girlfriend, without telling the wife, and like she starts suspecting that it's pretty much a Kalhonaho concept. I think that's why it went viral. But like
and this was written by you as well, right?
Yeah, it was written by me, and then...
So let's put you on the spot now, Don, and let's show our viewers a little bit of bet.
Okay.
Don J on Good Morning Sri Lanka with Liar.
You want us to give a little bit of beat from here?
No.
You good? Like this?
You can call me liar. I was too weak to face the truth. You can call me liar. I couldn't tell you I'll leave you soon. Girl, I had my reasons, believe me. I never wanna see that you cry. You can call me liar. I really love you, that's why I lied. Yeah.
Woohoo! Pops out to Don J with Liar. If you want to catch this song and that album, The Dawning, if I'm not mistaken, you can basically go online?
Yeah, the Dawning album is available on iTunes and all the other digital platforms,
Right.
as well as like the CDs now available in Sri Lanka under M Entertainment outlets.
Also, Don, now you've spent some time in Singapore. You're a Sri Lankan born. You've spent most of your life in Sri Lanka, and I'm sure being in Singapore, you would have checked out your opportunities there as well. Can you tell our viewers what the difference between the music industry in Sri Lanka and Singapore are like?
It's very
in terms of, also let me narrow it down. In terms of potential for a person who wants to pursue music.
Potential,
as a career.
I think. Okay, it's like this. Sri Lanka music industry opportunities are a lot. Like, the country is big, so many viewers, a bigger audience
compared to Singapore.
Singapore. But at the same time, Singapore, there's like opportunities in the sense like there are so many music festivals, so many events happening throughout the year, because people they love the whole nightlife and events and all this music and art scene. So there are so many events happening throughout the year, and you get more opportunities to perform as an artist. And in Singapore, you're not an artist if you can't really perform live or perform to a crowd. Like, just because you do a CD or just because you do a music video, you're not pretty much an artist. You have to go there, you have to perform for that crowd. So that opportunity is there, and once you get that audience backing you up, then I think...
And did you have many opportunities there to perform?
Yes, indeed. The biggest opportunity I had was to perform for the Mosaic Music Festival, which is it happens for 3 to 5 days in Singapore, and it's pretty much crowded all over the world. People come down there in different bands from US to UK, all around the world people come down. So it's a huge experience for me.
So basically you've done well with the Dawning album. It's gone viral. You mentioned the fact that it's featured in Yes FM Homegrown as well, that it was #1 on Yes FM Homegrown for some time.
It was actually my next single, the most recent single, Dadam.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's excellent news.
Let's talk about Dadam then.
Dadam, actually, that is the most recent single. Because after the album, I decided to focus more on singles, because in terms of money, in terms of promotion, it's much more easier for an independent artist to focus only on singles. So Dadam is my most recent single. I did it in both languages, in Sinhalese and English. In English, it's Dadam, my heartbeat goes like. In Sinhalese, it's Dadam, hada gehena rhythme. So the English track is it became #1 on a couple of weeks in Yes FM Homegrown, and it's still at the top 5 position. Okay,
I'm really sorry to cut it short, Don, but we're running out of time. But before we do, I have just one question to ask you.
Yes.
Before we wrap up, as a songwriter, where does your inspiration come from?
As a songwriter, like I said, love, lust, life. Most of my songs, if you have listened to it, you will see certain stories that relates to my life, stuff that I've experienced or stuff that I've heard from my friends and whatnot. So basically, my inspiration comes from my own life. I just put whatever that I go through or whatever that I hear into paper and get it done to music. That's all.
Okay, thanks a lot for being on the show, Don J. Unfortunately, we've run out of time to speak to you on the show, but we thank you for being here. But don't go away. We'll be right back on Good Morning Sri Lanka after this break. Thank you, Don.
Thank you.